All right, so if you're a music teacher and you're still teaching live, either in person or on video, I have to tell you, you're wasting your time and your students' time. Time is the most precious resource you guys have in order to make progress in your musical instruments, whatever it may be. Why do I say that you're wasting time? Well, because most of those lessons are actually just, hey, how's it going? What did you do today? What did you eat for breakfast? Did you do something fun this week? Oh, I went to visit my daughter. I went to, there's so much fluff and very little instruction. And what happens in your case, if you're a teacher, is that you schedule your entire day filled with lessons like this, top to bottom. And at the end of the day, you're so burned out that you don't even have energy to practice anymore. And this is something that happened to me, right? In the past, I am guilty of that. And I was becoming a worse player because I wasn't having the energy to actually practice by just teaching over and over again, right? When people teach, they are not practicing. They are helping other people, figuring out ways that makes the students surpass the level that they are currently at. So you need time to practice. You need time to work on your skills, your musician skills, your technical skills, your musicianship skills, your listening skills. And if you have more time to do that, guess what? You're going to become a better teacher too, because you're going to have more enthusiasm in your lessons. When you're making progress in your musical instruments, there is this wave of enthusiasm that is just so contagious. People notice. If you haven't been practicing for a while, people notice. Just by the way you talk, by the way you look at them, because the spark of music is what motivates your students to get to the next level. And motivation is the name of the game, especially in music lessons, because the hardest thing for students to do is to do it consistently what you ask him or her to do, right? We human beings get very excited very easily, but to sustain that excitement, you need someone who is doing that together with you again. Every time that I teach my students, I'm thinking like, I'm relearning how to play my instruments. I'm a guitar teacher, so I relearn how to play the guitar every time I teach a student, because what they are studying at the specific moments in time, I remember how I was when I was studying that specific concept in the past, and what I did in order to overcome those challenges. I'm sure you do the same thing in your instruments, right? Bottom line is that you don't want to waste precious time with live lessons. Live lessons are a hassle not only for you but also for your students, because they have to schedule a time with you. And if something happens throughout the day, it becomes a very big pain to reschedule the lesson and to communicate with you. And if something happens on your end as well, it's very tough to reschedule those lessons. It is just a nightmare. The system I use is a system where I teach asynchronously. The student sends me a video, I send a multimedia presentation back. They can choose any time during the day to send me the video. I can send that multimedia presentation either on the same day or on the following day, giving us both flexibility to do the things that we do the best when we are 100% focused on doing what we are intending to do. If I'm in teaching modes, I'm in teaching modes. If I'm in practicing modes, I'm in practicing modes. And I don't know about you, but sometimes you get into these grooves, in these really great places in your playing, in your practicing, that it is a breakthrough, and you don't want to interrupt that by teaching a lesson at 2 p.m. because you have it scheduled at 2 p.m. You want to have your breakthroughs as a musician, as a performer, flourish. So later on, you can communicate that to the students, right? So bottom line, flexibility is the name of the game. If you want to have a much more flexible schedule and have your students actually motivated to practice and deliver something to you, right? Because every week they have to send you a video. And this is an actionable step. Coming to the lesson is not necessarily much of an actionable step, because the students often just wants to talk and be your friends, which is great. You want to be their friends too, and you are their friends. But at the same time, you can achieve that through video as well, through asynchronous communication. You might say, oh, it's not the same because there is not that live interaction, but the back and forth. Well, I would argue that the back and forth might not be as useful as you think, because I'm sure that you saw that many situations, what the students really needed was just many more repetitions of the exercise that you gave him or her, not a new concept. And back and forth are new concepts, ideas that are exciting at first and like, oh yes, I could do this, I could do that, but hey, the real progress happens where? In the practice room. That's why I love the phrase, make your practice your masterpiece, because that's where the real progress is made. So if you want to stop wasting time, check out my practice canvas. It's at mypracticecanvas.com. The link is below here for you to watch. There is a video demonstration where I explain why I created that system and how it works in detail for you and how I advertise that. Back in the day, I used to teach just live and in person and also on Skype. And I went through a transitional phase where I converted all my students towards that system. And my new students are already on that new system because it's just better. It's just better for everyone. So check it out and stay tuned for more tips on how to become an excellent music teacher.